All right, guys, you can see the time and you can see the notifications are popping up because I've got some triggers set up to let me know when we fall below certain prices. And what you're seeing is basically some of my trades also became active, so I'm quite happy. Actually, I'm very happy. So, and just to let you know, guys, this is actually my second video. So the time now is 4:02 p.m. in UK here, and I'm actually still driving, and this is my second video, right? So the other one is still uploading. Unfortunately, the other one I shot it on my iPhone, and I have no idea why iPhone is taking so freaking long. In fact, I've got my network is the same for both of them, right? So I'm on 3 all the time, and so I've got same network, but I don't know why it's just so slow when it processes stuff. So my bad, but my battery was low on the Samsung, so I had a bit of an issue. Anyway, battery's charged up. I've got the chart up for you. You can see I'm doing a screen grab and talking at the same time, and I've got it on the this is on a 2 weekly chart, just to kind of show you a few more candles, a little bit more bigger data. I was going to show you the monthly, but the lines won't make any sense if I show you monthly, because it's just going to sit there in the middle of nowhere and you'll be like, hold on, what's he doing? So on the weekly, these lines were made on the weekly, right? And the lines I'm talking about are colored in yellow, right, and white. So yellow and white, these are my primary and my secondary. So my primary lines I had was 19,933. That was over a year ago. And the 16,316, again a year ago. These are my primary buy orders, which was set up in the beginning. And then as the market was unfolding, we realized what the market may do or may not do. We then set up a secondary buy order on the yellow colored line, and you can see the 17,365 and the 13,805, whatever it may be. Now, one of the things that's happened here, and it's not displayed on the chart and I'm driving so I can't really show it to you, is that all of our supports, every single support we could ever have been annihilated, right? Destroyed, literally destroyed, right? Now the good news on all of this is that we can still recover from wherever we are. We can still recover, and I've kind of stopped for a second so I can show you. All right, let me just get you up to the 1 day. Right, so we have recovered, and this is on a 1 day, guys. So sorry, we can recover if we get to approximately $18,500, right? If we can get to $18,500 by the end of tonight, so it doesn't matter where the candle is, right? If we can somehow climb back up by some miracle and get to 18,500, it's okay. Nothing has happened. Anything you've seen right now, us going all the way to 21k and then coming back down, it's nothing. It's just part of the cycle, right? So stay calm, right? Don't overreact yet. Don't panic, and especially don't panic sell. Please, please, please do not panic sell, right? And I'm not a financial advisor, so this is not a financial advice. I mean, of course, you do whatever you want to do, but if you've bought something and you see it bleeding, don't go around giving money away and then you know, trying to reattempt to buy, because you're just falling into the cycle. And also, people who don't understand this is a crucial thing. When the market starts, so you've got like one BTC, your BTC was worth 20k, for example, and the market starts to bleed, and now it's come to say 16k, 17k, and you decided to sell. You're selling on chain. What you don't realize is when you're selling on chain, you're impacting the market even more. So you're bringing it down even further, because you've triggered, you're telling the market you want to sell. So you're falling into it, and you're being part of this whole downtrend. While the whales, the big institutions, the corporate funds, right, what they are doing, they're calling up Coinbase, they're calling up KuCoin, they're calling up Binance. Believe me, they're calling them up to the OTC trade desks, and they're saying, give me as many as you can. And I'll give you a good coincidence, right? I'll call it a coincidence, because whenever the market does this, you'll find Coinbase, KuCoin, Bybit, and a few others who have OTC trades, or not enough reserve but do have an OTC trade, they usually have problems with their exchange, and then they'll come, oh, we had some shortages, our systems went down for a little bit. Yeah, right. Listen, we're not that stupid, all right? We know exactly what's going on. What goes on around that time is they take the availability off and they actually sell it to the institutions. Maybe it's a conspiracy, maybe it's a theory that I have, I might be saying something, I don't know, but the point is they stop the liquidity so they can stop the shrimps and give it to the whales, right? That's what it is. It's this is how it works, right? So that's what happens. So pretty interesting, and I can see that this is something that I believe that may be happening right now. So while the shrimps, and like myself, I'm a shrimp, I call myself a shrimp as well. Okay, maybe I'm a prawn, but the point is we're shrimps, prawns, jumbo prawns, you name it, whatever, right? But the point is don't fall in for the whatever they're doing. Don't fall into the trap, right? That's the most important. Don't fall for the trap. Yes, you're at a loss. What are you gonna do about it? But it's your asset. That's the most important thing, right? And I mean, Bitcoin is like property, right? Think about it like property. You have it. It can go up and it can go down, but it's still yours, right? Whatever you own is still yours. And money is irrelevant anyway, because money has value because your governments and countries and everybody values it, but actually money is nothing, because money is just a piece of paper, a elaborate piece of paper, right? A unique piece of paper that just has a value on it. It says, I promise to pay you. That's all it is. Everybody's promising, even the bank promises to pay you, but pay you what? It's never there to start with. So that's what it is. At least with your asset, your land, your building, your car, your clothes, whatever you own, your Bitcoin, right, or your crypto, whatever you physically own is yours. So it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, that's why I did a second video today. I thought, like, look, I'm going to do the second video and the other one's still uploading. Give me a second. Let me just check how much it's uploaded. So it's processing at 0%. It's so freaking slow. It's been like an hour since I've done it, but yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, a lot of the stuff that's happening in the market, I'm happy. I'm looking at the market. I'm seeing how the price is playing out right now. I've literally stopped everything. I was like, okay, for a few hours I'm going to stop everything. I'm going to have a look at all of this, see what's going on, see how far it can go. Do I need to rebalance anything? Do I need to adjust anything? For example, I had a trade open from 18,000 something, I can't remember. So I was in profit, but I didn't cash out or anything like this. Currently I'm at a loss, right? I'm currently bleeding, but it's okay, because as I say to everybody, right, when you open a trade, your assumption should be you're never getting that money back, right? Until you actually exit the trade and take your profit. So until you take profit, it doesn't really matter. So that's how I kind of put it. And for me, I already assumed loss from the moment I traded it, so I'm not that fussed about it. We can see BTC notifications are coming up where the whales, or mostly I would say it's not even the whales, it's like just one or two, it's just very small amount of trades, right? These are small trigger trades, so you get everybody buying OTC, right? Just buy OTC, buy, and then just to get the shrimps back in to push the market back up again, because you need volume on chain. So then the volume on chain pops in again, right? If that makes any sense. That's what it is. It's you have to control the market, right? When the market's going down, anything. This could be CZ, by all means. CZ could be just buying small amounts. This could be bots, right? Bots have been set up. I mean, technically, I had a bot set up to buy below 17,300. And I'm excited because I never thought it was going to come. I never ever thought it was going to come. I just left it there. I was like, leave it. So what? If it comes, it comes. It's a bonus. If it doesn't, by all means, we move on. But I'm so glad that I didn't take those the trades off the table. I didn't take anything off. I just left them there. So what? It doesn't matter. I'm still safe. And I know I'm constantly talking about myself. It's a bit cringy, but no, I don't really mean to. Honestly, I mean no. You know, I don't mean to be rude or anything like this. I don't mean to constantly boast about what I did or how it happened. Honestly, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm just kind of shocked, right? I'm in absolute shock that how, you know, when we talk about projections, right, when we're talking about, you know, the law of attraction, when we set our minds at something, when we put a line and we stick by that, right? So we drew a line and we stuck by that line and we said, that's the line, this is it, there is no ifs and buts, I don't give a damn what anybody says, my lines are my lines, right? You know, when you play that kind of a game and power of attraction comes in, the law of attraction comes in, right? Because we projected it. We are not predicting, we are projecting, right? We're saying the universe will provide what we want, right? We are in control, we are sitting at those lines. And look, that's the evidence that universe does provide for those people who have strong-willed, strong mind, and who understand that, you know, sometimes, or actually pretty much all the time, look the other way. When somebody says to you something, you gotta start observing and see some, you know, what's the other side of the narrative, right? You know, just don't fixate yourself on one thing. You know, you've probably noticed that the entire bear market, I've been less active on YouTube, right? Very low frequency on YouTube, you know, doing it on while I'm driving and all sorts like this, right? I haven't been really bothered, but that's because I've constantly said to you guys that, guys, what am I going to tell you? It's the same freaking thing. My charts don't change, right? You know, I'm not here hyping it. I'm not here looking to earn some money from YouTube or whatever like this, right? I'm not even big enough. I don't even care, right? So when you got a situation like this, it doesn't make much of a difference. Of course, I have mentioned this as well, right? And don't take this the wrong way. If I had, say, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, then I may be more frequent because of the subscribers, but not because of anything else that comes with it, right? Obviously, and I'll still be myself, and I'll still be straight up and tell you exactly what I think it is, right? So, wow. This is pretty awesome, but it's good. You know, all of this, what I'm seeing, how the market's been reacting is really good. Also, the reason I've got it on this screen, guys, there's a reason behind this. I'm actually keeping a close eye to see how low it can actually push down to, because I mean, if it goes to that $16,316 level, OMG, I mean, that is like, wow. I mean, 1 in a billion chance of it going there. I mean, we predicted this based on something, and I remember we did it on a live show, and I drew a line and I said, for the sake of it, I'm just going to leave a line there, and that would definitely be something we could look at. If this happens, then there's a potential chance it could even go down there. That's exactly the words we used, and look where we are today. Sorry guys if you're hearing some noise. I was watching a documentary about the Inca people. It's fascinating. I mean, let's talk about some of this as well, because crypto is good, it's doing its thing. I mean, you can watch the show. When you look at ancient archaeology and whatnot and this and that, there are so many fascinating, interesting things out there. One of the things that fascinates me the most, right, is archaeology. Modern day archaeology have time frames, right? There's these rules, these laws that they have made in their classrooms or in their lecture rooms or whatever. And they set these times and they say, well, this is how long man has been around, or this is how long this has been around, or this is when the wheel was invented, or this is when, you know, fire was discovered, and XYZ, right? So you can imagine where I'm going with this, right? And they actually refuse, mainstream archaeologists actually refuse to go beyond those levels, right? They absolutely refuse to go beyond those levels. And they would say, like, for example, the show I was watching was the Inca built this. Well, if the Inca built this, then, you know, there are certain buildings that I'm looking at, they got destroyed in an earthquake, and the Inca couldn't repair it. So you have these structures that are sitting there for thousands of years. Even the Inca themselves say that, no, we found it, and we just repaired it and built it ourselves. but mainstream archaeologists likes to give them the attribute, and they're saying, no, it wasn't us, it was our ancestors. We don't even know who they are. So this is some crazy situation that you see over and over again. It's like, the problem I have is modern day archaeology do not want to accept what's going on. So yeah, it's a bit sad, but why can't they just accept that there could have been advanced civilizations out there who actually built these structures, or, you know, was around, and anything could have happened. The other thing that is quite annoying is how, for example, modern day or ancient Atlantis, right? So they talk about Atlantis and this and that, and these are Greek authors like Plato. They talk about how Plato talked about the Atlantis being on the other side of Pillars of Hercules. Now, just because Pillars of Hercules falls into the Mediterranean, they think it's the Mediterranean, right? But what if he was literally talking to his local people who want to know how far it is, like a reference point, just say, look, it's beyond that, right? It's way beyond that, because that may have been really far from where it is. And he says, look, you have to go beyond that. That's the direction, right? Anything could fall within that direction. And Atlantis could be anything, right? It could be Antarctica, by all we know. So it's one of those kind of things. Like, again, archaeology and even academics, right? They want to listen to Plato, but they don't want to clarify what Plato even said. So Plato says, look, I heard this story in Egypt. They told me that it was 8,000-9,000 years before them. So when you get a situation like that, Plato's literally telling us during the time when he wrote it that it was 9,000 years before his time. You know, and then when you add when Plato was around, then all of it seems like, hold on, this is way before the wheel was invented, way before man came out of the caves, because, you know, man came from monkeys, but they still lived in caves, right? You know, caveman business and this and that. So that, you know, it's just one of those annoying things. It's like, guys, come on, stop trying to confuse us. A lot of us are awake. You can't really confuse us. Instead, what you do, you just bore us, right? When you start talking nonsense, we start yawning. And if I was in a classroom, I'll be sleeping through the whole of it, right? Because it just doesn't make any sense anymore. So, yeah, interesting. You know, I'm not saying like, you know, civilizations or anything. Look, it's us. We've been around for a very long time. But I think we're just like whoever was around. And this is really interesting, right? We are the same people, but our ancient ancestors have left already. Let me explain this this way. If, for example, today we become a spacefaring nation, right, or a spacefaring planet, who would be the first people that would actually leave planet Earth? Is it going to be your average Joe? Is it going to be the guy who's a janitor? Is it going to be someone who works in Tesco's or Asda or works at a filling station? Is it going to be those? No. Guess who's going to be the brightest minds, right? Doctors, you know, people with high credibility and whatnot, right? So these are going to be high status people, not even status actually, but higher educated people with brilliance. Let's just call it brilliant people. That's who they're going to take away first, right? So, and those people are going to continue. So we're just going to be leftovers. If that was what, you know, that's what's going to happen. We're just going to be the remainders. And I believe that's exactly what's happened, right? Where the ancient civilizations that we talk about are probably our ancient ancestors, and what's happened is they've left us, the riffraffs, and they're gone. And then what happened was we had a cataclysm, right? So some sort of a situation, a global event which impacted all of us, and probably we ended up hiding in caves, and we lost our teachers. That's what I think. That's what, it's not lost ancient civilizations, it's lost teachers. We've lost our tutors, our teachers, and because we've lost them, we've lost the best part of history, and that's made us you know, kind of dumb. And now we're rediscovering things, but then what we've got is a few people who are slightly clever than the others, who are trying to take all the you know, who are confusing history or trying to make their own narrative so that they can still continue to do whatever they do, right? And some people call it brainwash, but it could be absolutely anything. So other than that, guys, I'm not gonna make this any longer because I can carry on with conspiracies forever. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment and let me know your thoughts, what you think and how low you think this market could go. Other than that, I'll see you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.